I wanted to speak about how not only is the business of gaming dying and it's going to get even worse, I want to also speak about how things like the Blizzard situation is going to be one of the reasons why it's for sure going to die.
What? Wait, what's going to die? I'm confused.
Gaming, well, the integrity of gaming and just good gaming development, good games in general. That stuff is going to die. I mean, right now we're already at that point where it's going to die. But when I look at the Harvey Weinstein and the Me Too stuff, right?
Yep.
Movies have gotten so much worse after that whole situation happened. Every movie was bombarded with how men are bad, and they had all these messages about men groping women, and it was just terrible, and it ruined everything. And now with this whole Blizzard thing getting bigger than ever, and this woman allegedly killing herself because of it or something, or possibly killing herself because it's going to ruin every big AAA gaming. If you thought, well, not you, but if or any real man out there like me thought that gaming was already neutered and it was just being made for like weirdos, it's gonna get worse now. I mean, they're gonna send a whole bunch of Naughty Dog's next game's probably gonna star a black Jewish trans midget, and it's just gonna be awful.
Why is that bad?
Well, because what would inspire anybody to create a game when there's games that I grew up on like Doom and stuff like that? I'm now gonna want to play as a Jewish transsexual midget? Why?
Why would you?
Unless it's a comedy.
Why? What's funny about being Jewish?
Not about being Jewish. I'm just.
What's funny about being trans? What's funny about being trans?
No, it's funny.
What's funny about being a little person?
I'm talking about if you combine all three to show how forced diversity is.
Well,
I mean, come on, man, that's crazy.
Why?
Are you kidding me, Blind? Listen, people play games and people watch movies for escapism.
That's one of the reasons, sure.
Some reason. And listen, people play Doom. People play Gears of War, which they neutered Gears of War now, right?
How did they neuter Gears of War?
I don't know, because maybe Gears 5 was starring a girl named Kate who's crying about her mom the whole game. When the originals was like football players who were like Jim Brown, just joining a squad of military men, just shooting shit up and laughing and high-fiving. Now we got to play as some mopey woman crying about mommy and putting every guy in his place. Come on, man. You know it. Don't play dumb.
You are such a caricature. You know you are.
No, I'm being that serious. This is going to ruin the gaming industry.
I played Gears 5. I enjoyed Gears 5 a great deal. You know what I think it really is? I think it is that, oh, shut up. One above all says, dude's spitting. He's spitting cum out of his fucking mouth from his father. That's what he's spitting. Let me tell you something.
No, this is fire.
It's not fire. It's bullshit is what it is.
Okay.
Listen to me. The idea, I mean, seriously, the idea that you can't play a video game where the main hero is a female and she's great in that game. That's a really good game. Gears 5 is really fucking good. And you have a problem with it because, and look, I played the game. I haven't finished it, but I played about 9 hours of it. It's not like it's some kind of Hallmark Channel movie where she breaks down and cries about her fucking father or mother. She might have a
good amount of scenes of her crying about her mom.
I don't think that's accurate at all.
I've seen it.
But even if it is, Marcus Phoenix was a whole thing about he goes home. Didn't he go home and his home was destroyed or some such shit? Cliff Bleszinski literally says that the whole Marcus Phoenix arc was about the fact that his dad left when he was a kid. So don't act like the first Gears of War didn't have any kind of heart or any kind of pathos.
I'm talking about it was targeted at a specific demographic.
What demographic? A bunch of fucking knuckle-dragging morons that can't handle the fact that a woman has the gun and is the lead?
It's not about handling. It's about every franchise these days. They're shoehorning a quote unquote strong woman to take lead for something that was created for boys and men.
It was not created for boys and for men.
It was.
I created, let me tell you something, bitch. I created one of the strongest, coolest, masculine protagonists on the planet that has ever existed in video games.
Sure did.
Okay? And I never once...
And they neutered him. They neutered him.
And I never once was sitting around going, I'm doing this for the boys. Ever. I was doing it. I did it. I did it because I thought it was cool. I was like, I like this guy. He's crazy. He's cool.
I agree. I don't think you consciously did it. But come on, man. You know who your demographic was. You know who you were making games for. You know what you thought. You're a weirdo today. You have lost your mind today. But who you were back in 2003 or 5, whenever that game was made.
2004.
You probably had a whole different. Okay, 2004. You had a whole different mindset. That was, in line with what your audience wanted.
No.
It absolutely wasn't.
No, let me explain something to you. You don't understand.
Okay.
I have zero problem with the character that was Kratos. And I have said numerous times, because I get asked this a lot, if I were to make a new God of War, they're like, would you have sex in it? I'm like, yeah, I would. And I would have nudity and I would have violence because that's what I like about God of War. I'm not saying those games shouldn't exist, but I'm saying the idea that if you're going to make a game or any kind of art with a woman in it, and the idea that just the fact that she's a woman, you have a problem with it. No,
I'm not. Don't do that. Don't you do that. Don't do it. I'm talking about the franchise and what basically the franchise is. Okay? Listen, I just heard the Doom Eternal.
No, you're not. You know what? No, you're not.
Hold on.
No, you're not. Because if you were, okay, wait a minute. If you were suggesting, if you were on the argument of this franchise has already been established as X and now you want to change it to Y, and you think doing so, it's not coming from a place of creativity, it's coming from a place of, hey, I mean, it's all money anyway. These companies don't give a fuck. But if they think, hey, you know what?
Oh, they're tapping into the old woke stuff.
Okay, well, whatever. But I mean, ultimately, if they think that, hey, we're going to make a shit ton of money if we do Ghostbusters as women, then they'll try it. It's not for any other reason than that. Okay, but that said, though, the idea that the idea that if you have a new franchise and you have a problem, that's a bigger problem I have with you. When you just said Naughty Dog is, yes, you did. You said if Naughty Dog makes a new game and the protagonist is a Jewish, black, trans, little person, you would have a problem with it.
I'm saying it's possible we're getting there because this is how far.
But if it's a new, if it's a new game, and if it's a new franchise called Lil Uzi Goldstein, okay, right? That's who it's about, and they're the new hotness. Who gives a shit?
It's not about who gives a shit. It's about what you could be creating and what you're wasting time putting out that's hurting the industry, hurting games.
How is it hurting the industry?
Is. Okay, listen, you just brought up Gears of War. I mean, I brought up Gears of War, but you spoke about how the 5th one is so good.
It is good.
That series is dying because of what they've been doing with the past 2 games. Absolutely dying. You cannot tell me Gears is as relevant today as it was when the first 3 games came out.
I sure cannot, but you know why that is? Come on now.
I know why that is.
No, you don't know that. No, you don't. Here's the reason why. The reason why is when Gears came out, Gears was a 360 phenomenon. It's just like games that come out now that are selling gangbusters on PS4 and PS5. Those games on PS3 would not have been, they would have been successful, of course. But Nathan Drake never sold as well on PS3 than he did on PS4. It has to do with people buying.
And that 4th one was trash.
I did not like the 4th one either, but it has to do with.
Wasn't his wife upset? Not because he went and lied and.
It has to do.
Because he never brought her.
It has to do with what system is selling and what's exclusive for that system. I'm not saying the game isn't relevant, but the idea that Gears wasn't relevant for 5, which was primarily released as an Xbox One X title, Yeah, because nobody had an Xbox One X. It wasn't because the game was
And I'm
shit.
saying nobody bought one after because nobody thought that system was worth a damn. Because what? I'm gonna get Gear starring Kate, the crime protagonist who wants mommy back.
Did you
Who
even
wants that?
did you even play that game?
Let me tell you, because I just got an Xbox Series X. I played some of it on Game Pass.
How much have you played?
I played maybe I might put 40 minutes, and I couldn't take it. My eyes were bleeding.
Okay, you don't know. You don't even know what you're talking about.
No, but
All right, P Turtle, I'm out. Do me one favor though. Do me one favor. I want you to say, Jerry, you're still my agent.
Jerry, you're still my agent.
You sound just like that motherfucker.
Well, I had like 6 things to talk about.
I don't give a shit. This is not the P Turtle show.
Get me off early.
This is not the P Turtle show. You can call back later. We'll just do a shoot the shit show. I got to keep things moving. Call back anytime. See you, buddy. All right. What's up, Sumo? How you doing, man?
Good, man. How you been?
I've been pretty good. How you doing?
Doing all right. It's more about that P Turtle shit, honestly.
What about him? I mean, that's P Turtle's a troll. He may very well have a point, and he may believe his shit, but he's got a little shtick going, and it entertains the crowd. So I keep him on, you know.
Well, yeah, definitely. But he is parroting, I think a perspective that's out there, which has always kind of confused me because these same guys have no problem running around as a fucking blue hedgehog, but once they see lady muscles, like their day's ruined.
It is so fucking weird, man. I've come to a conclusion that I don't think like a traditional guy, I guess, if that's how traditional guys think about, right? Because I'm just like, I mean, I know, and maybe it's because you get older and you're not as, testosterone fueled or what, but it's like they can't do anything if it's not attached to their desire to fuck a woman. It's like, can't you just play this character? I mean, she's cool. You don't have to want to fuck her in order to enjoy the game. You don't have to be attracted to Abby in Last of Us Part 2. You don't have to.
No, man. Do I shoot a gun in the game or do I catch a ball? If I don't do either of those, man, it's not a game.
It's weird, though. Isn't it weird? Fuck you, Joey Pinoe, whatever the fuck your dumb name is. He says, get off your high horse. Isn't that funny that it's a high horse?
Spell his fucking name right.
Yeah, because it's not. It's a high horse because I'm basically saying I'm not a fucking knuckle-dragging mouth breather. That's not a high horse. That's just sort of a base level of normalcy that most folks should aspire to, sir. It's like, I mean, look, I thought Claire in Resident Evil 2 Remake was super hot. But, it's not like I go to my video games because
Watch out.
Huh?
Watch out, because that's a slippery slope, because it seems like you can't even express that. Like, that game character is attractive.
Oh, I can express whatever the fuck I want to, but that's only because I have class privilege and nobody can cancel me.
Right.
And that's but
you know what I'm saying.
I do, but that's pathetic, but that's the goddamn truth. But the fact of the matter is yeah, they're, and like I said, that's why I always make it clear. If I made God of War again, I'd totally, if I had the freedom, I would make it overtly sexualized, just like I made the first one, because that's what I like about that game. But the idea that I can't enjoy a game because there's a more nuanced woman, I just think that's ridiculous. Even to the point, let me show you something on your screen which is related to this. Again, this is where I say I just don't know. I don't relate to the average guy. So Ariana Grande has her thing in Fortnite this weekend, and I downloaded it. I didn't play it. I just watched it with my kids eventually. But you can get an Ariana Grande skin. And in this article on Polygon about it, there's a quote that says, "It's really great to have a really well-made skin for the girls and the gays," Gil Cruz told Polygon. Cruz identifies as a member of the LGBT community and bought the Grande skin after seeing it announced. Well, I'm not a girl and I'm not gay, but I would much rather be running around as a hottie Ariana Grande than fucking Superman looking at his butt for 3 hours while I'm playing. I don't understand. I don't get most men. That's the goddamn truth. That's the goddamn truth.
That generational thing, man. I mean, I think when I was coming up playing Genesis and NES and all that old shit, Phantasy Star.
Right.
You're playing games with female characters, but you're at an age where that shit doesn't matter. only when you're kind of trapped in your bedroom waiting for your birthday present console do you give a shit about that kind of stuff, I guess.
Yeah, but Peach Turtle doesn't sound like he's 7.
It sure fucking acts like it.
He does act like it. That's not untrue. That's not untrue. All right, Sumo, thanks for calling as always, buddy. It's always good to talk to you. See you, man. Fuck you, adversary one. 50-year-old man playing as Ariana Grande in Fortnite is creepy. 50-year-old man playing Fortnite seriously is probably creepy. Oh, shut up, Buka. You know what? I'm done. Fuck it. We're going to have this conversation briefly. We're going to have this conversation very briefly. Very goddamn briefly. This idea that a man gets to a certain age, I find it so backwards. Okay? The idea about going, of course, it's, you know, if you're an older guy and you're dating a much younger woman or vice versa. But the idea, I'm not going to be careful. Brampton Bodman says be careful. No, I'm not going to be careful. I'm done. I'm done with this bullshit. If you've got a crazy age and the people want to date, man, woman, woman, man, 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 whatever the fuck you got, they should be able to date. If people feel that there's a real problem with a 7-year-old man dating a 30-year-old, which I think is happening in some Hollywood couple right now, I forget who it is, or a 35-year-old man coveting an 18-year-old, then you know what? Maybe it's time to go to the polls and vote and make things illegal, because the legality in America is age of consent is 18. And the idea that a healthy straight man at any age is supposed to look at someone who's like 28, whatever Ariana Grande is, and say, well, you know, the math says she's too old, she's too young, and I'm too old. I'm not going to try to date the fucking woman. But to act like I'm some kind of pervert for just going, oh, she's really fucking hot. She is really fucking hot. That's part of her shtick. That's what she hires people, hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, a trainer and makeup and stylist and lighting people for her videos. That's what she's doing. That's her character. Jesus fucking Christ. I'm just fucking tired of it. Let's move on, shall we? I want to ask you a question. You're not going to know this. Well, you might know it if you're really bright. Zach Braff. Maybe it was Zach Braff. He's 40, she's 25. No, I don't think there's anything wrong with that at all. I was with an 18-year-old at 35, says Moss. Yeah, if it's legal, it's legal. And if it's consensual, it's consensual. You know, what do you want? Okay, listen to me.